Doug the Manic Rifleman here. So today we're going to be picking up the scriptures reading in Genesis 5. I wanted to take a moment and kind of describe some of the things that led to the break in this series. So during the time that I was continuing this reading, leaving off in 4, I had continued reading the scriptures on video, but for something in my being was telling me not to post those videos. So I didn't. Something didn't feel correct. I didn't quite understand what it was, but something just didn't feel right, so I stopped. And over the last few weeks, I've received guidance both from my wife, from the Spirit, from a brother, helping me understand the direction we should take this channel. And I now feel like I'm in a place where I can bring this in a way that is pleasing to the will of the Father in my life, in the way that I'm pursuing. And you'll see that as we continue with this channel. But wanted to give a quick kind of hey by the way on what happened with this. I think it's appropriate to open up our stream, so to speak, of videos with this series. I think this part of our lives, this part of our walk, this understanding, I think it's the most critical thing we have. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is the book of the genealogy of Adam. In the day that Elohim created man, he made him in the likeness of Elohim. Male and female he created them, and he blessed them and called their name Adam in the day that they were created. In the day they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and brought forth a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Sheth. And after he brought forth Sheth, the days of Adam were 800 years. And he brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Sheth lived 105 years, and brought forth Enosh. And after he brought forth Enosh, Sheth lived 807 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Sheth were 912 years, and he died. And Enosh, kids being kids, picking up. And Enosh lived 90 years, and brought forth Kenan. I'm not going to get all these names perfectly. I apologize for that. Doing my best, or doing the best of my ability at least. And after he brought forth Kenan, Enosh lived 815 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. And Kenan lived 70 years, and brought forth Mahalalel. After he brought forth Mahalalel, Kenan lived 840 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Kenan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalalel lived 65 years, and brought forth Yared. And after he brought forth Yared, Mahalalel lived 830 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Mahalalel, some of these names are very challenging for me. So all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Yared lived 162 years, and brought forth Hanok. And after he brought forth Hanok, Yared lived 800 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Yared were 962 years, and he died. And Hanok lived 65 years, and brought forth Methushalah. And after he brought forth Methushalah, Hanok walked with Elohim 300 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Hanok were 365 years. And Hanok walked with Elohim, then he was no more, for Elohim took him. And Methushalah lived 187 years, and brought forth Lamech. And after he brought forth Lamech, Methushalah lived 782 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Methushalah were 969 years, and he died. And Lamech lived 182 years and brought forth a son and called his name Noah, saying, This one does comfort us concerning our work and the toil of our hands, because the ground which Yahweh has cursed. And after he brought forth Noah, Lamech lived 595 years and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah brought forth Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Yeah, we're going to break this down to individual chapters so people can find this for easier reference. And the same as we did before, we're going to read this word through, and then we'll speak about what we've read. And I will organize this video, being my first time here in a moment. I will organize this video to be Genesis 5 individually, 6 individually, 7 individually, etc. Though I'll read these more or less continually, but I will stop and go back in these videos. I want to share my thoughts on the chapter which we just read. I'm not going to do so until the end of the video so that there's no confusion between when my words stop and the word begins. I want to separate the word as the word and my opinions or my understanding of the word at the time. I want to separate those things, obviously, for you guys, so there's no confusion if you're watching this while it's not the Sabbath like it is today. If you're watching this while you're at work and you're focused on something and you lose direction for a second and you hop back in, I want you to know whether or not you're listening to my words or the Father's. So we will distinguish it that way. So with that being said, let's talk about this Genesis 5. Even though I just read Genesis 6, you guys won't see that in the video the way that you're going to perceive this. We just read 5 and 6. You'll see chapter 6, of course, in the next video. And we'll talk about chapter 6 in that video. So let's pause for a second. All right. That's going to be very hard for me to find. So that's on me, not for you guys. So Genesis 5. This is the book of the genealogy of Adam, right? Up until just recently, and I mean like last night recently, it was very hard for me to see very much value in these genealogy books. But once you try to explain to someone or have a question based on who are we talking about right now, having the genealogy to reference to make sure that we're talking about the same person, it's actually an incredibly helpful tool as you pursue further understanding. And maybe that's why I didn't feel like I was doing a good job in reading. Now, obviously, I struggle with the names, but these reference points in Scripture allow us to frame the people that we're talking about and understanding this Enoch from that Enoch, so to speak. Making sure that we can see and understand the genealogy or the track of these, the creation of these humans, so that we understand who we're speaking about and who we're not speaking about. And there is a fair amount of value in that, but I won't add to what we've read here because for me, really just the reference of the material, having it in front of you and understanding where to find it in your scriptures, that is the value I see as of current. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys if you're going to continue reading on to the next video. If not, Shabbat Shalom if it is the Sabbath for you when you watch this, and I look forward to seeing you guys here again.